I'm the incoming student body president. Welcome to Starkville Academy. We're so glad you're here. At this time, I'm going to ask that you please silence your cell phones and stand to join me for the prayer, and then after the prayer, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Yearbook advisor, and I'd like to recognize Cooper McNeil as our business manager this year.
The National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution Youth Citizenship Medal is presented to a student who demonstrates the qualities of honor, service, courage, leadership, and patriotism. This year's recipient is junior Mia Kate Cade. For years, Starkville Academy has sponsored delegates to attend the Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Seminar on the Millsaps College campus for a weekend of leadership development, team building exercises, and for them to hear and interact with motivational speakers. The students learn how to apply leadership skills to become effective, ethical leaders in their home, school, workplace, and community. This year, attending virtually, representing Starkville Academy, will be sophomore Katie Randall and junior Harris Ruffin.
Good morning. It is my honor to announce to you today the highest average student in 8th grade computer. The student has not only excelled academically, but she has also been an incredible student, both respectful to her classmates and kind to them, as well as to me, her teacher. So it is my pleasure to announce to you that the highest average in 8th grade computer today is Miss Kat McCaskill.
I will be presenting the 7th grade English Award, and this year it is going to Mary Holland Nicholas.
Good morning.
I'm Kimberly Logiston, and I'm here to announce the 8th grade highest average in English, and that is going to the most precious young lady, Kat McCaskill. I think it was like a 99.98 average. She's like amazing.
Good morning. I'm Jackie Purvis, and I have the honor of teaching 9th and 10th grade English and honors 9th and 10th grade English. I am proud to recognize this morning the student with the highest average in 9th grade English, Miss Elizabeth Basil. The young man with the highest average in honors 9th English is Mr. Harrison Holiday. And now to my 10th graders. The young man receiving the 10th grade English award is Mr. Mac McReynolds. And the young lady with the highest average in honors 10th grade English is Miss Ashton Watson.
Good morning, I'm Barb Atkins. I teach 11th grade English, 11 AP English. The highest average in English 11 this year is Harris McReynolds. AP English is a very rigorous course. I had 5 that were right there at the top. I had to go into tiebreakers, and this year the highest average goes to Caroline Flint.
Hello, my name is Erin Hammett, and I do not do public speaking. I do teaching math. So, I'm going to introduce my 3 doll babies real fast, and I'm going to sit right down so you don't stare at it. Okay. My Math 7 award goes to Aubrey Blair. Honors Pre-Algebra, Mary Holly Nicholas. 8th pre-algebra goes to Kennedy Foxhall.
And my students would say, I love to talk, but I'm going to try not to. The highest average in Honors Algebra 1 this year, most of the good things have been said about her already, Captain Casserole. Highest average in senior math this year goes to a junior, Colton Janice. And highest average in statistics, Caleb Stockton.
Good morning, I'm Allison Teasley, and I teach Algebra 2, Honors Algebra 2, and Geometry. The highest average award in Algebra 2 this year is John Paul Butler. Highest average award in Honors Algebra 2 is Harrison Holiday. And the highest average in geometry is Bethany Woods.
I am Carrie Perkins, and I teach math, and I have 4 awards to give out today. The first one is for Algebra 1, and then it goes to Elizabeth Basil. Honors Geometry. This is a particularly smart class, but this one definitely came out in the lead, and it's Arden Parker. I teach also advanced algebra and college algebra. Advanced algebra is in the fall, college algebra is in the spring, and it's a due enrollment course through the Mississippi University for Women. Both of these awards are going to the same person, and it's Cooper McNeil.
I
I'm Tate Fisher. I have the distinct pleasure of teaching probably the best group of kids I've ever taught in my life here at Starkville Academy. I teach biology, honors biology, and AP environmental science, which we affectionately refer to as APES. I'll now present the biology award. It goes to Aaliyah Sheffield. The Honors Biology Award goes to Harrison Holiday. And the AP Environmental Science Award goes to Lily Holiday.
Howdy, I'm Wade Barksdale. I teach two classes. Forensics and Earth Science. The highest average award in forensics, Lily Holiday. And in Earth Science, there were tons of them that had high averages, but the highest ended up going to Maggie Barber.
Good morning. My name is Susie Wall, and I'll be presenting the highest average awards to those classes that I teach. The highest average in Honors Anatomy goes to Charlie Nicholas. Highest average in General Anatomy goes to Fallon Parkinson. And highest average in AP Biology goes to Abby O'Neill.
Good morning. I'm Stephanie Curtain, and I have the honor of presenting the awards for the highest averages in chemistry and general chemistry. The student with the highest average in chemistry is John Paul Buckner. And the student with the highest average in honors chemistry is Evan Kane.
Good morning, I am Laura Catherine Smith. I teach 7th grade life science, and I will be presenting the highest average award for life science. This student has had a 100 average for the entire year. That's not easy to do. And I can honestly say this girl gives 100% in everything she does because I have her in athletics as well. And I'm proud to present this award to Mary Holland Nicholas.
How y'all doing? I'm Sam Ryan. I teach Mississippi history the first semester, world geography second semester, and highest average for Mississippi history, Madeline Montgomery. Also for world geography, I had Madeline Montgomery and Harrison Holiday had a 100 straight average for third 9 weeks and fourth 9 weeks.
Good morning. My name is Ty Adair. I had the pleasure to teach world history at Starkville Academy for the first time this year. It is my privilege to present the award for the highest average in world history to one of the finest students I've ever taught, Miss Caroline Flynn.
Hi, I'm Marcy Flood, and I teach 11th grade U.S. history. And this year's highest average award goes to 10th grader Brett Shanahan.
Recognize the student with the highest average, and that is Lily Holiday. Another award that I'm presenting is the Woodman Life American History Award. And this award just acknowledges a student that understands and respects our nation's past, and he's also really excels at this subject, and that is John Paul Butler. I also teach advanced world geography, and the highest average is Brett Shanahan.
I'm John Morgan. I taught 7th grade world history, and I have the pleasure to award this young lady the highest average. Her academic accomplishments far exceed the level that she's currently in, and that's Mary Holland Nicholas.
I'm happy to present the U.S. History 8th Grade Award to Miss Kat McCaskill. I also have a Woodman Life Award for the American History Award, and it goes to Abram Jankowski.
I'm Erica Hyman and I teach Spanish. The highest average for Spanish 1 goes to Kat McCaskill. The highest average for Spanish 2 goes to Harrison Holiday.
Good morning. I'm Sheila Feed, and I teach fine arts, ceramics, Art 1 and Art 2. So I have 4 things to hand out. And I'll start with the 7th grade fine arts. And for those of you who don't know, it includes things like theater, filmmaking to a certain extent, art, of course, being drawing and painting and so forth. We also learned about architecture, and we did music appreciation. I had a great group of kids this year who participated in all of that. They made a movie, they were in a Shakespearean play, and at the very end, I had a very tough choice between 2 students, and the most points, therefore, went to the one who placed first in this state MAIS art competition, first overall the state, in her division of digital art, and that goes to Bronwyn Barrett. And while she's coming down, I'll go ahead and say the others. Art 1, of course, is your typical art where you paint and you draw and so forth. This particular student who won for points for keeping her sketchbook up to date, doing all of her cleanup that was necessary, and then also doing a demonstration of a particular art technique to the whole class is Madeline Montgomery. Interesting seeing Madeline actually have to spread out a giant sheet of plastic on the floor and put on a giant apron so she didn't get her clothing messed up. Okay, Art 2 takes up where Art 1 left off, and so the students have a lot of independent projects at that point. And 2 students were like this all year long. They kept working, they kept adding extra things to their portfolio, and I figured eventually it would get straightened out when they entered the MAIS art competition. And doggone it, they both placed first in the district, then they went on to the state, and they both won 2nd in state overall. And keep in mind, this is Art 2, some very tough candidates they were competing against. So I have to announce a tie, I'm sorry, between Tina Track and Tyler Jackson. I taught all of the Jackson kids and other students in this school, so my apologies, Tyler. And while Tina is coming down, and I don't see Tyler right now, let me go ahead and talk about ceramics. Ceramics is one of those situations where you don't take tests, okay? You have to make projects, and sometimes they break, And instead of just saying, well, so much for that, you get a 0 on that one, you have to have the courage to go on and try. And the student who ended up doing the most projects, if you want to consider that a portfolio, and doing some very beautiful and functional objects throughout the whole year long, always cleaning up and never giving up, is Harris Ruffin.
Again, I'm Kimberly Laugustin, and I had the distinct pleasure this year of being given the debate class. Rumor was that it's because I raised a lawyer, but I think it's because I like to argue. I did not know that there is a method to it, and there are right ways and wrong ways. And we watched a movie towards the beginning of the film with Denzel Washington called The Great Debaters, where he is building a debate team, and he challenges his team, and he says, I am going to build and challenge your righteous minds. I'm going to tell you, it ended up the students became the teachers, and I learned more than I have ever learned. I would like my debate class to stand up. Thank you. I cannot say enough about them. They have grown. They have learned the right ways and the wrong ways to debate and to speak. We had a very tough summer as a nation, and we talked a lot about issues. We learned in debate to always move forward. Before you can reach a point of agreement, that is the purpose of debate, to move forward. And just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean that you don't like them. And this was the most mature, wonderful class I have ever taught in my 20 years at Starkville Academy. And one young man, there are several people that stand out, but there is one young man, or there are two, that led, and it was so much fun to watch one get affirmative and one lead the negative team. And we knew the cross-examination and the rebuttals were going to be phenomenal, and they were. Mrs. Berryhill came in several times. Ms. Flood sat in as judges and loved it. This young man, I am sure, will become an attorney and will probably end up being a representative, congressman, senator, maybe even governor of this state, and that is Dylan Miller. He is receiving an outstanding performance award. This next young man receives highest average. Every time he debated, he began with a quote, he ended with a quote, and he had the most meticulous research skills I have ever seen. If I could talk him into going to law school, I would, but I know he wants to do some type of engineering. If I could adopt a child, I would adopt this child. Tyler Highfield, highest average.
I'm Carol Pittman. I teach high school choir, and this year high school choir could be named anything but choir. We did very little singing. We took our singing parts and played them on elementary handbells, xylophones, glockenspiels, and the young man getting the high school choir award today also learned to play the piano, play his part on the piano, and I'm honored to give the high school choir award to John Paul Buckner.
When I think back to last summer and what we thought school might look like in the midst of a pandemic, we had many fears going forward. Our head of school, Mr. Nicholas, refused to take the easy way out and deferred to distance learning. He was determined to make in-person school possible. Mr. Nicholas, thank you for all your hard work, sacrifices, and leadership. We have finally made it to you. The Perseverance Award goes to Mr. Nicholas from your daughter Mary Holland and your SF family.
We're about to wrap up. Part of this is giving you a chance to do some closing comments as a whole, but then also kind of a final charge to you guys. So I'll end with you. You've heard me say this at the various assemblies we have. It's our last time to have you as a group, but I'm extremely proud of all that you did this year, all that you accomplished this year, in spite of all the craziness and the uncertainty, in spite of having to do things that I will tell you, none of you probably liked having to do, and I will even let you in on a secret, none of us liked having to make you do. But sometimes in life, it's just kind of part of it, is that you have to go through things, you have to endure things, and you just kind of keep moving forward, as Ms. Langston talked about, moving forward. So it'll be good life experiences, it's shaping you for the future. As you get older, you will still have to sometimes do things that you might not want to, but you're prepared. And again, proud of all of you. So, rising seniors, you've been alive for well over 5,000 days at this point. I tell you that because in 83 more short days, you're the ones that will be walking us through the doors come August 10th. Now, I know we're barely finishing the school year, and the last thing you want to think about right now, and trust me, I do too, we're all ready to get to summer. But my point is, 83 days is about to fly, especially considering the grand scheme of, even through your short lives, of how long you've been alive. It will be here before too long. And so, part of what I want to tell you guys, and the challenge, is simply this. I am finishing my 7th year here as head of school at Starkville Academy, my 11th year overall. So considering I know some of your parents are here, such as Mike Highfield, and he might need help, that means next year will be my 8th year at Starkville Academy, my 12th year overall as a head of school. Why do I bring this up? Because in my opinion, you guys probably have the most potential to be the most well-rounded class I may have ever seen as a head of school. And guys, we've had some stellar classes come through. Wouldn't trade them for anything. Celebrated accomplishments, for sure. I've watched y'all now for 7 years, and I've seen you. This is a fun group. This is kind of the life of the party group. This is the group, again, with the potential to excel academically, athletically, in the arts. I almost can't think of an area that some of you, several of you, and all of you with your various talents can't excel. So why am I saying this now? And we're talking about potential. There are a couple of verses that come to mind, a couple of Bible verses, one of which was read last night at the senior baccalaureate. You know it well, 1 Timothy 4:12.
says, don't let anyone look down on you. Some translations will say despise. It's a strong word, but basically try to put you in your place as a youngster. Don't let anybody look down on you because of your youth, but set an example for believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, in purity. You're kind of at that paradox where you're still obviously considered youth, but you are about to be the elder statesman for this school. You're the ones that will not only walk us through the doors in 83 short days, you'll be the ones that then close out when you're finished, and we have that tradition where you put your caps and gowns on for the first time and you walk back through every building. You're the ones that set the tone. You're the ones we look up to. You're the ones that are the rock stars in the elementary world, and if you ever think for a second that that's not true, go hang out with them. Go watch them get excited as y'all walk through. And just little things that you don't think matter, but giving a high five as you go, don't ever, ever underestimate your power, your influence, and what you mean to them. But I also want to challenge you simply with another verse, Ephesians 4:1, where Paul in prison says, as a prisoner for the Lord, then I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. So part of this challenge today, and I'm not trying to put undue pressure on you, I'm just telling you what your moms, your dads, your teachers, your administrators already know. Your potential is amazing. So we're going to say live a life worthy of that calling. Live a life that I know you can. And don't take shortcuts. Don't settle for anything less than your best. Don't decide that I'm going to live one way at school and then another way outside of school. Be the same man and woman day in and day out. Because you not only represent your senior class, you not only represent this school, you not only represent your family, but hopefully, as we tell you all the time, we hope your faith is genuine. You represent the same Lord who bestowed those vast amount of talent on this class. So my challenge is to be you. But next year, be the greatest you that you've ever had and that you've ever been as part of your senior year. And when you do, and I firmly believe you will, then about a year from now, when we get to Senior Awards Day, I get to start beaming with pride and talk about what a bunch of horses, what a bunch of superstars who have done this and this and this and this and this and this. Understand, regardless of that, we're always proud of you. And regardless of that, we'll always love you. Be the you that we know exists. And when you do, this school will forever be the better for it. In 83 short days, it'll be time. So now that it's time to kind of conclude, we always have, and finish this with a tradition. We are glad that our parents, grandparents, friends, and potentially any wandering strangers, I don't think so, but you know, we ask that if you will, please vacate the blue chairs. You don't have to leave, but we just ask that you move to the side. Rising seniors, understand this will be the first of more pictures than you ever want to take in your life between now and the end of your senior year. And let me tell you, on behalf of your moms and dads, deal with it. We don't care that you're tired of pictures. We don't care that it's the 8th one that some mama is going to want to take, or the 20th one that Miss Hampton might want to take. Deal with it. Because you will be leaving a legacy, and we want to capture every moment. Right, moms and dads? Every moment. So I'll back you there. All right, rising seniors, please come take your place of prominence as next year's senior class. All right, as they are getting seated, we'll say thank you everybody again for coming. Students, y'all will be dismissed back to your second period class at this time. So 7th through 10th grade students, you're dismissed back to second period. Everyone else, again, thank you for being here.